So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you're aware or not, but Texas has decided to remove Algebra 2 out of the core requirements to graduate for Texas high school students. A move that at first glance comes across as one that is innocent and in the best interest of the student to assist them in graduating. But if we look a little deeper into this issue, it speaks to a much bigger problem. Today's schools are centered around the test, the test, the test. The student feels the pressure, the teachers feel the pressure, the principals feel it, the kids feel it. Jobs, careers, livelihoods depend on graduation rates and student test performance. Don't get it twisted. Student success rates, attendance, and test scores can mean big dollars to schools and school districts alike. So back to Algebra 2 and the Common Core that Texas doesn't participate in. The Common Core is a nationwide standard that all states, with the exception of 5, you can Google it to see which 5, have decided is the standard to graduate high school. By removing Algebra 2 from the core requirements to graduate, you are essentially lowering the basket from 10 feet to 9 feet. For those of you that aren't aware, a 10-foot basket is the standard height for basketball goals all around the world. So by lowering the basket to 9 feet to allow kids to dunk, what are you really doing? Is a dunk on a 9-foot goal really a dunk? What happens when the kid advances into the real world and all the goals are 10 feet? Or maybe you're a golfer. I try to golf sometimes. I'm a weekend golfer. And I've missed my share of 5-foot putts. The standard golf hole is 4¼ inches wide. How many putts would I have made over the years if the hole was widened to, let's say, 8 inches? Oh man, I'd probably be a scratch golfer right now if we had an 8-inch hole. That'd have changed my life. I'd probably be playing golf for a living right now instead on the weekends. What message are we sending? You have to understand there's a huge push in Texas to move towards vouchers and privatizing education. And what better way to overtly yet covertly steer kids into private schools than dumbing them down by watering down the curriculum under the auspice of trying to encourage kids to stay in school and helping increase graduation rates? Because supposedly Algebra 2 isn't really needed anyway, right? Or will Algebra 2 go the way of vocational ed courses of years past and have to be paid for after high school, since many see it as a gateway to higher education, math and science classes? My question is, are Common Core states removing Algebra 2 from their requirements? Are private schools removing Algebra 2 from their requirements? Is China removing anything from their core requirements necessary for a student to graduate? One argument says that by not having Algebra 2, it gives kids more of an opportunity to learn a trade with that period. So the time that they would normally be going to algebra, they can spend this time learning a trade. Beauty school, mechanic, engineer, any trade that you can think of, this time could be used to learn a trade. Yet another mechanism of steering public educated kids toward a trade rather than college, and furthering the divide between the haves and the have-nots. The choice of going to college or learning a trade is a choice a child should make, not a legislator. By narrowing the choices, I would argue the same skills needed to go to college to be successful are the same skills you need to do a trade and be successful at it. Students should choose. Don't water down the curriculum and choose for them. As a matter of fact, I would venture to say that Algebra 2 is needed to be a good electrician, carpenter, or mechanic. You need a little bit higher level math in some cases than just algebra to be good at certain trades. If I go right now and knock on the door in River Oaks, Houston, Hyde Park, Dallas, Georgetown, Washington, D.C., or any other affluent community around the country and ask them if they're raising their kids to go to college or go into a trade directly after college, smart money probably would say about 100% would probably say we're raising our kids to go to college. The Bushes didn't raise their girls to learn a trade. The Obamas aren't raising their daughters to do a trade. Chelsea wasn't raised by Bill and Hillary to do a trade. So is that to say that those that aren't wealthy or affluent shouldn't be concerned with going to college? I'll be the first to say that college is not for everybody, and trades right out of high school aren't for everybody. But the common requirements to graduate should be uniform so our students are prepared whichever route they want to take. Not legislators in Austin with ulterior motives fueled by potential dollars that can be made off privatizing education and vouchers. And let's talk about what vouchers would really do. Do you think that these schools that are going to allow vouchers to come into their districts or into their schools may do a little bit of cherry picking in terms of the kind of students they want coming into their schools? So now if you cherry pick the cream of the crop from public education or from various schools, what happens to the school that had the good students cherry picked? Do you really think they're going to allow any and everybody to swap schools as they please with a voucher? Think about it, people. Today it's going to be Algebra 2. Tomorrow, history. Don't believe for 1 second that the push for vouchers and privatizing education doesn't fuel moves like removing Algebra 2 from the core curriculum. There's big money in privatizing education, and the closer we move to this, the further the economic divide will be. The reason for the decision isn't always apparent, but it is evident to those that know better. Keep my kid's basket at 10 feet. As a matter of fact, make it 11 feet. She's capable. Set the expectation, raise the bar, and watch these kids perform. Don't lower the basket. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say this, but it's probably for another video. Pay teachers more. In every other aspect of society, the old adage, you get what you pay for, applies. Yet when it comes to education, we're supposed to get Rhodes Scholars teaching our kids for $45,000 a year, which, do the math, don't use the summertime, but it equates to almost $20 an hour. Now put $20 an hour jobs in Google search and see what comes up. Now go find your local teacher and give them a high five and a pat on the back. because what they're doing daily in schools is nothing short of a miracle. But that's for the next video. Keep my kids' basket at 10 feet. Put Algebra 2 back in the core curriculum. Thank you.